Okay.
First, tell us your name.
My name is Hitoka, actually.
Nationality.
Nationality is Indian, from the northeast part of India.
So, what course are you taking up?
I'm taking up music, choral conducting.
So, first question, what is it in India that you miss the most that you can't find here in the Philippines?
I think it's the food. I miss the food, the Indian food, and the ones we get here is not very authentic, and it's quite expensive here. Yeah, I think the foods here is quite like vegetables or anything is quite expensive as compared to India. To the most common thing.
If given a choice, would you go back to India or stay here in the Philippines?
Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this because I like certain parts of the Philippines here, which I don't really find here. It's like, for example, they have very good beaches, which you don't really have. Which is, and it's apart from the other places, I like Manila because it's much cleaner as compared to India. Even if you go to the capital, Delhi, it's too populated and it's very too much pollution. So it's like it's much safer, much cleaner here. So I think I like the part of here, but yeah, like I say, the food or everything, it's not very. I'm not really used to it, the Philippine food and everything. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
So, what makes India and the Indians unique from other countries and people? What do you think?
um, it's very diverse in India. Every places you go is totally different. From one state to the different state, or from the province to province, it's like you have different cultures. You have a very unique personality, characters, and cultures, celebrations, and festivals. So it's like you go from one place to another, India, like one place to different. It's very diverse. So it's very unique. Yeah. So I think those are the things that really make very unique as compared to other countries. I think. For instance, like you go to Korea or Japan, you have like they are very Asian culture, but all it's almost like the same places everywhere. But India, you go from the north or you go to the south, or east to west. It's like you have different characters, people, and very diverse. So that's very unique.
So, we're gonna change now. 'Cause, we have to be seen on the
Okay.
video.
I hope I'm making it very clear.
Yes. Okay. Just a follow-up question in the first during the first part. How old are you right now?
I am 25.
25.
Yes, I'll be turning 26 this November.
Oh, nice. And how long have you been in India or have stayed in India?
Still most of my life there. Just got back here for the music studies. That's all.
You went to the Philippines just to
Yeah,
study
just study music.
music.
Because we don't really have the Western music in India. Though we have different. I mean, we have cultural, unique Indian classical stuff. We don't really have Western, which have the bachelor course.
Mm,
So whenever we have to take a Western music, we have to definitely go on. Though they provide the studio music courses, but still, it's not. Yeah, you don't have the degree, so.
okay. So what question are we? What are your favorite things in your culture about India and being an Indian? So,
Favorite things, okay. Uh, I think it's the festivals. It's really interesting. You have this festival of colors, you have festival of lights, and it's a really a big thing.
okay.
And the cultures is very tight. So maybe it's not very. People might not think it in a very good way. For example, in the West, because they are very individualistic. But the Indians are very tight with cultures, even with the families and everything. And it's very strong bonding thing. It's
Mm,
a very big thing.
what's the most significant or the most important festival in? Do you celebrate the ones about Gandhi, the festival about the birth of Gandhi? Isn't there a festival on that?
Yeah, they do have. They do have. Yeah. We do get the national holidays and that stuff, and it is a very big thing for us.
Okay. So, do you believe India will improve in the near future? And yes, do you
This
think
one.
it will be the next China?
Next to China.
Because right now we've been hearing that China is the next superpower in the world. So do you believe that India would take that next step also in the near future?
It's quite hard to say because what I see in India right now, they say it's developing, but it's quite hard, especially for people like us here. We suffer a lot. I mean, even with the exchange rates, it's not like you're developing. You see, you heard that India is developing, but the exchange rate is much lesser. So I don't know, but maybe in the near future, like 10 years, it's not very possible. I think. Because when you go to India and you see the real, if you experience anything, the developing is very slow. Because it's really huge, and we have so many like below poverty lines, and you see there's so many slum people out there, and it's quite hard to believe that those people can actually get a very normal livelihood. Economically, I think it's quite hard to say actually. Population-wise, it is, yes.
Population.
It's like yeah, I think that's one of the factors that really helps with the development. But it's quite hard to say though. People do say that India will be the next. Maybe it's because they are looking on the population side. I think. Maybe depends. But right now, it's quite hard to tell with the right context in India. The developing is though they are developing places, but still it's very hard. It's not everywhere. It's really hard to cover up all the places in India. It's really huge country.
Yes.
It will take some time.
Yes. Okay, so is that okay? So that's all. That's all of our questions for. Thank you very much for the interview.